with the U.S. President's state visit to the U.K. that as Prime Minister Theresa May and Donald Trump have said they expect the two countries to reach a post-Brexit trade arrangement despite currently disagreeing over the use of Huawei technology in 5G telecoms networks.
I think the important thing is we deliver Brexit, and once we're out of the European Union, we will be able to do what we've been talking about today and develop not just that free trade agreement, but a broader economic partnership into the future.
We're going to have absolutely an agreement on Huawei and everything else. We have an incredible intelligence relationship, and we will be able to work out any differences.
Before the UK visit, Washington threatened to limit intelligence sharing with the UK if the British government allowed part of its 5G infrastructure to be built by Huawei. We've been hearing a lot lately about 5G. Here's a refresher on what this all means. It's capable of whatever the current 4G network can do, but up to 20 times faster. And it's seen as a network of the future to transmit data at a higher speed for devices such as smart glasses. It's also the driving force of autonomous vehicles. Earlier asked Annie Fixler, the Deputy Director of Foundation for Defense of Democracies, whether Mr. Trump was right to push so hard against Huawei.
There are serious concerns with Huawei, and the Trump administration and the U.S. Congress have been right to raise concerns with our allies around the world about the threats that Huawei poses in terms of questions of Chinese espionage, questions of rule of law, and respect for intellectual property.
But Annie, for many U.S. allies here in the Asia-Pacific, such as Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, and the Philippines, they're already working very closely with the Chinese telecommunications giant. What must they do then?
Yes, it's a challenge. A number of countries have indicated that they will use Huawei's equipment as part of their telecommunications infrastructure. And the Pentagon has raised concerns. There was a report earlier this year from the Defense Innovation Board noting that China's involvement in 5G infrastructure and next generation internet infrastructure will pose a serious risk and threat to Defense Department operations and network security.
Apart from Huawei, Annie, should we fear other big infrastructure telecommunications players, or is it just Huawei?
The answer to that question is sort of twofold. Huawei is emblematic of a number of Chinese companies. It's not the only Chinese company that poses a threat. Earlier this year, the telecommunications company ZTE made a lot of news, was temporarily added to U.S. Department of Commerce entity list because of national security concerns. However, there's a difference, I would say, between Chinese companies and other non-Chinese companies, companies from allied countries, where the threat is not one of espionage. There may be concerns about needing to look at specific components to ensure data integrity or security.
And that was Annie Fixler in Houston. And other business news making